Raise your hands if you have a question for Evan. We'll start first with Charlie Potter.
Hey, Evan. Yeah, I just want to ask about Trey Sanders. Obviously, you guys are close coming from IMG. Just how good is it to see him back on the field and what Coach Saban says close to 100%?
It's amazing to see him close to 100%, seeing him get back out there because me and him are actually roommates in IMG, so I know how bad he wants it. I know how bad he wants to get out on the field and, just make an impact, for himself. And I'm just happy for him. I'm happy to see him, just develop and get better.
All right, go ahead, Michael Casagrande.
Yeah, Evan, asking you about the soft shell helmets you guys have in practice now. What are they like? How does it impact things?
I can't really tell. I like to say they're better than the last ones that we had. They're a lot much lighter, but I really can't tell the difference.
All right, next, Nick Kelly, go ahead.
Evan, I'm just curious, what does Kendall Randolph bring to the tackle position?
Kendall Randolph, he definitely brings a lot of experience, and he's a very intelligent player. He plays a really good technique, man, and I'm excited for him this year.
Ryan Hennessy, go ahead.
Yeah, I just want to ask about Bill O'Brien, the differences this year, the energy he's been bringing to the offensive side of the ball. How's it been this year so far?
It's been really exciting. Coach O'Brien, he definitely brings the juice, and he's definitely a great offensive coordinator. I'm just excited for this season, man. I'm excited for our team, and I'm excited for our offense.
Steven, go ahead.
Evan, you came from IMG, of course. JC Latham, also from IMG. Mm-hmm. What kind of tips have you been sharing with him as he's trying to transition as a new guy?
Something I've been sharing with JC is just, not be so hard on yourself right now, and be patient, because things are going to come. Just focus every day on getting better, focusing on fine-tuning his technique, the minute things in his game that he needs to get better at. I just tell him to take it one day at a time.
All right, Tony, go ahead. Tony Sakalis, go ahead. All right, Mike Rodak, you're next.
Yeah, Evan, Nick Saban mentioned yesterday that you've really spent some time getting your body right, and he says that now you're able to sustain better. Just what was involved in that, and how much of a difference have you noticed yourself?
Really, I've been doing everything that Dr. Ray and Coach Blue asked us to do in the weight room and everything that they asked on the training table. I have lost an amount of weight, but I have lost weight since last year. I'm around 345 right now. Last year I played at 360. I'm definitely a lot more light on my feet, light on my toes, and I like this weight that I'm at right now.
All right, Michael Casagrande, go ahead.
What's up with these box jumps? We keep seeing these videos that Ray puts out there. When did you start doing those? What's your best? What's behind that?
Dr. Ray and Coach Blue introduced us to that last year. Last year I ended up jumping, I think, 36-inch box last year, and this year I ended up jumping a 48-inch box. And shoot, I really have no one to thank but my parents for my genetics on that one. But I'm just thankful that we have good strength coaches, to help us.
Tony, go ahead.
Hey, Evan, just how tough is it to stop Will Anderson coming off the edge? And if you had to give advice on that, what would it be?
Well, man, Will's definitely a talented guy, and I'm just excited that I get to go up against him and get better every day. Iron sharpens iron, that's why I chose to come here, and it's just exciting.
Charlie Potter, go ahead.
Yeah, I want to ask you quickly about Javian Cohen. He's the guy that's obviously stepped in there beside you. What have you seen from him at left guard through camp so far?
I've seen a lot of maturity in Javian. As a unit, as a whole, we still have a ways to go. Like his camp right now, we're just focusing on, trying to get better and focusing on the little things right now. We have a long way to go. We have a lot more work to put in, so I'm excited to see where we are, come week one.
Steven, you're next.
Evan, just how quickly did the buy-in to Coach Ray and Coach Ballou happen? Because they do things differently, but how quickly was that buy-in from the players to those guys?
The buy-in was almost immediately. No one really bucked, or everyone accepted their new philosophy, and I feel like it's paid off dividends.
Nick Kelly, you're next.
Evan, with the opportunity that B-Rob has in front of him, how have you seen him taking advantage of this kind of chance he has to kind of lead that position?
I feel like B-Rob is embracing his role, but I just like to focus on the role that I have and being the best offensive tackle that I can be up front so I can open up those holes for him.
Cecil, you're next. Cecil, go ahead.
Evan, you have a new offensive line coach this year, Coach Marrone. How is it different than it was last season, if it is different at all?
Not to say it's really different. Coach Marrone and Coach Flood are both extremely good coaches, so it really hasn't been too much of a difference.
John Zener, you're next.
Yeah, hey, Evan, another Brian Robinson question. He's a guy who's had to wait his turn behind some really terrific running backs. Is that a guy how has he handled that from your perspective? And is it a guy, is it easy to root for a guy who's had to wait his turn that long?
Yeah, I guess you could say that, but like I said, my job and my role doesn't change. I got to be the one to open the holes up for him. And like I said, I'm excited for him. It's his time, and I'm just excited for him.
Mike Rodak, you're next.
Evan, just to follow up on Doug Marrone, he's obviously had a lot of experience in the NFL. How much of that wisdom about what it takes to be an NFL player has he imparted on you so far?
A lot, every day, I try to take something from him. He definitely has a lot of knowledge of the game, and I'm just excited to, continue to learn from him.